Welcome to Vite Bits, Lesson 3, Building a PWA with Vite. In this lesson, we learn how to build a progressive web application using the Vite plugin for building PWAs. These are our objectives. First, we need to define what a PWA is. Second, it is critical to understand how to make your PWA installable. Next, we initialize the project and install the plugins. We need to generate a set of icons. This is an important step in ensuring installability. Finally, we will build and preview the application and use the browser and browser console to verify that it is installable. There are two requirements for this tutorial. You need to have Node installed, and you need a good editor. I will be using WebStorm, but VS Code or an equivalent IDE is fine. What is a progressive web app? It is a web app built using standard HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. It can run as a standard browser app, but it can also be installed to have the look and feel of a native desktop or mobile app. It can be kept up to date automatically through a behind-the-scenes refresh mechanism. It can also work offline, if caching is configured. There are several requirements for a PWA to be installable. First, you need a web manifest and a service worker. These two files will be generated for you by the PWA plugin that we will install shortly. You also need a set of icons. We will install a package that simplifies the process of creating icons. It does this by building them from a single SVG file. Finally, you need to serve your site from a secure HTTPS context. Serving locally during development is also considered secure. It's time to initialize our project. We will create a directory, change into it, and run npm init. We will then install the Vite and PWA plugins. Next, we will install the optional assets generator. If you don't already have a set of icons, this will greatly simplify the process of creating them. Finally, we will create some empty files in a public directory. Let's start WebStorm and we can finish our configuration. Open a terminal window and create your project directory. cd into it and issue the npm init command with the -y option, to keep it simple. Now install Vite in the PWA plugin. Use the -d option to make them developer dependencies. Next, we will install the assets generator. This is an optional step, but it will greatly simplify the process of creating a good set of icons, which is critical in making your application installable. This may take a minute or two to install. We are going to create two empty files, a Vite config file and index.html, which will be the entry point of our application. Finally, we will create a public directory. Inside this directory, we will create an empty logo.svg file. This completes the initialization of our project. Now, let's start WebStorm or VS Code and complete the project. Now that we are in WebStorm, the first thing we will do is add some run scripts to package.json. First, we will be naughty and remove the test script. We add 4 scripts: dev, build, preview, and icons. After adding them, click on the npm icon, the stylized N, at the upper left of WebStorm. This will show the scripts in a panel. You can then double-click on the scripts to run them. Next, we need to edit vite.config.js. First, we import the PWA plugin and configure it. Enable the dev options if you want to make the application installable when you run the dev command. Next, we define the mandatory key elements in the manifest section. This section will be used to generate the manifest file in the build phase. For now, we will leave the icons as an empty array. We will revisit this when we generate the icons. We will now create the world's simplest logo. Open the empty logo.svg file in the public directory. We're using SVG to create a red circle. Let's work on index.html. This is the entry point into the application. Our trivial example has a simple head and body. After we run the icon scripts, we will revisit this file to paste link tags into the head section. We click on the icon script, which will generate the assets from our logo.svg. Expand the bottom panel upwards so that we can see more of the terminal output. We are looking for the generated head links, so that we can copy and paste them into index.html. Now we need to copy and paste the icon information from the terminal output into vite.config.js. Close the bottom panel to get some working room. The icon info we pasted in is in JSON format, but it needs to be an object literal format. We could get fancy and find an online utility to convert JSON to an object, but that's overkill for this simple project, so we'll just manually remove the quote marks. This will take a few seconds, so we'll skip ahead a little. Alright, we're done. The application is now complete. We just need to build it by clicking on the build script. Let's take a look at the dist directory that was created by the build process. If you take a look at index.html, you will see a new link tag for the generated manifest file. You also see a script tag to load register sw.js, which in turn loads sw.js. Now click on Preview to serve the dist directory. Click on the URL link to open your browser. Our web page is working. There should be an installation icon visible at the end of the URL field. Click on it but don't install it yet. Just click Cancel for now. Next, we want to open the developer's console with right-click Inspect. Click on the Application tab, then select Manifest. You will see the keys and icons that we set in the manifest. Under Service Workers, you can see a reference to the sw.js file that was generated for us. Now move to the Lighthouse tab. We want to verify that our application is installable as a PWA. Select Navigation, Desktop, and Progressive Web App. Click Analyze Page Load. Congratulations! It's installable. Close the Dev console. Now click the installable icon in the URL field. This time go ahead and click the Install button. You will see two windows. One is the folder containing your application, and the other is the app itself. Drag the application icon onto the desktop. Close down the folder. Now, resize the app window to the size you want. Now close the window. For the grand finale, double-click on your app icon to start the app. Congratulations! You did it! Before we finish the project, we need to head back to WebStorm and shut down the preview server. This is a summary of the commands we used. First, we created the directory and initialized the project. Next, we installed the Vite packages. We then defined the run scripts in package.json, created a logo SVG file, and did the initial edit of vite.config.js and index.html. We ran the icon script, copying and pasting the terminal output into vite.config.js and index.html. Finally, we built it and ran preview. Thanks for watching.